COVID-19 pandemic has been at the forefront of health concerns for the majority of people. But there's another health crisis that is growing fast and only seems to be exacerbated by the pandemic. April marks Parkinson Awareness Month, and this morning we're joined by Dr. Karen Lee, PhD, President and CEO of Parkinson Canada, to tell us more about the growing concern. Thanks so much for joining us, Karen.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course. First off, I want you to explain what Parkinson's disease is for those who might not really know about it.
Yeah, so Parkinson's is a disease that impacts the brain, and unfortunately, it affects a part of the brain which is involved with movement and coordination. And that really leads to what you would physically see in someone living with Parkinson's: tremors, rigidity, unable to coordinate their movement. But there's also other aspects that people don't see that are related to Parkinson's, such as cognition, depression, speech issues, and constipation as well.
So tell us more about some of these challenges that those with the disease face. You know, you've talked to us a little bit about the physical component of it. What about financially and socially when it comes to challenges?
Yeah, so Parkinson's disease, unfortunately, people who live with Parkinson's here in Canada, actually, it impacts the healthcare system. It's one of the third highest in Canada. And out-of-pocket expenses for people living with Parkinson's is about $1,000 extra than most people would typically pay for. So it really impacts not only financially, but the family, because everyone's progression with the disease is very different. And family support is so critical in terms of care and support and motivation.
Tell us how exactly the pandemic has affected those in the Parkinson's community. Is there a change? Has there been an extra challenge?
Yeah, so one of the challenges we had prior to COVID is there's no real good way to detect Parkinson's. For instance, there's no blood test, there's no X-ray, there's no MRI. So really, you need to see a specialist, a movement disorder specialist, a neurologist who has experience in terms of with Parkinson's. And they will look at your history to really be able to confirm that. And that could take many years. But of course, with the pandemic, the wait times prior to that was already long, and COVID has only heightened that. And one of the key things is to be diagnosed so you can get the proper treatments to hopefully have a better quality of life.
Now, again, I want to reiterate, April being Parkinson Awareness Month. What can people do to improve the situation? How can we generate awareness this month?
So with Parkinson Awareness Month, Parkinson Canada is all about building awareness about the Parkinson community here in Canada. There's 100,000 people who live with Parkinson's here in Canada. Parkinson Canada wants to raise their voice, demonstrate the resilience of this community. More importantly, we're looking for support for this community so that we can continue to provide programming, services that allow them to have a better quality of life, but also to fund important research that helps us understand the cause and hopefully find a cure for people living with Parkinson's.
So if people want to show their support, if people want to educate themselves more on this disease, where can they get that information? Share some resources with us, please.
I would love them to come to parkinson.ca. We have resources there so that they can better understand what Parkinson's is, as well as support the wonderful programs that we currently are developing and currently have.
Such an important cause there. Karen, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you so much.